is discussion and action on the Administrative Review Board procedure and appointment of council, appointee, or member of that board in connection with Olga Quin's termination. My colleague Caroline is here. We prepared a memo outlining the Administrative Review Board procedures. The first step is to have the council appoint its appointee to the board. It's the first of 3 members. So you should do that today if you can. Anything else, Caroline, we would like to?
Well, just once you do appoint your member, we would notify Ms. Quin, and she has 10 days to appoint her member to the board.
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
Why we are doing this now?
This is the procedure in the handbook. Ms. Quin is allowed an appeal procedure, and this is what the procedure details.
Okay, but I have the understanding that is supposed to be the procedure before take action.
No, according to the handbook for a department head, the mayor has the authority to issue the discipline, and the initial discipline was the termination. At this point, then, Ms. Quin was notified of her right to appeal per the handbook, and the process is the council will appoint 1 member, Ms. Quin appoints another member, and jointly those 2 members will appoint the 3rd member, and that's the procedure for the appeal of the discipline.
Just for clarification, you said that the mayor has the authority to start the process of termination?
He has, yes, according to the handbook, it's 1.27, section 1A. The mayor has the authority as it relates to department heads. The mayor shall administer the disciplinary code as to department heads.
Okay, but let me just understand this. And I respect the mayor position, and I understand he has the right to do that. But in which way? Directly or through the council?
So, as you're aware, on February 24th, there was a vote taken. The mayor did second that vote. A letter was sent to Ms. Quin via her legal counsel on March 29th, and that clarified that the mayor affirmed and was terminating Ms. Quin.
Okay,
So,
but my question is, if a scenario like this happen again, the mayor has to use the same procedure to bring it to the council, or he, like on the mayor position, can fire the person directly? That is what I need to understand, because if the document says the mayor has the ability to do so, so what is the need to bring it to the council and expect a voting counting in order to take a decision? Try to understand me.
Yes, I do understand. We reviewed the procedure, the handbook, and as I stated, a letter was sent out to Ms. Quin to clarify that the mayor affirmed the termination, that she was in fact terminated per the mayor's direction. That's, according to the handbook, he has the authority to terminate a department head. So as it stands now, the termination's coming from the mayor. Ms. Quin has her right to appeal. It will be a hearing before the appeal board, and that decision would be binding, except the mayor may appeal the decision, and then it is brought back to the council if he appeals the decision.
Okay. I can go step by step just with the first page, but once you jump to that procedure, a scenario, it's something I can understand. You were here when we vote, and we, at least I and Councilwoman Ayala, we vote against that decision. But on the other side of the council, they vote yes. But if we come up to the same scenario, and I can tell you, until today, I can vote on the same direction, and if the mayor has to, we can say, appeal on this in order to break that evenly voting, so we're gonna ending on the same situation.
I understand what you're saying. This is the appeal process that's provided for in the handbook.
Okay.
So,
Just-
so just for clarification, tonight, the council will appoint a board to a member to the board, and then Ms. Quinn has 10 days to appoint her member.
Correct.
And then to choose the third member, both members,
Both of the appointees must pick the third.
the third. Okay, do we have a time frame? Is there,
The council's appointee, there's no time frame for that. As I stated, Ms. Quinn has 10 days to designate her appointee. The two board members have to appoint the third within 30 days.
Any other question for Councilor Caroline?
Let me see when the
No question
termination.
for
No,
Mayor.
I don't have a question for.
Go ahead. Go first, Mayor.
No, I don't have a question. I don't have a question.
So, Caroline, could you state your name and address, please?
My name is Alberto Naranjo. I'm the attorney for Olga Quin. My address is 7900 Oak Lane, number 400, Miami Lakes, Florida, 33016. Something I want to point out is we're discussing the procedures laid out in the handbook. I want to make sure that everybody knows that the articles supersede these handbooks. And specifically, Section 8, 1.b states that no department head shall be terminated until they have a hearing. It's very clear. I can read it for you word for word, and it seems like this procedure is going backwards.
When you, where do you say is that, on the same handbook?
It's in the articles, Article 8
On the charter?
in the charter, correct.
Okay, what is the article you say?
Article 8, Section 1B.
1B. Before you continue, do you have, Vicky, the ability to verify that?
I
And read
don't
it?
have a charter with me, but I may be able to pull it.
Do you have the ability to pull it?
I will check in a minute.
Okay, while she get that, what the Article A 1B says again, please, to try to understand you clearly?
It says, "No administrative department head shall be disciplined, demoted, or dismissed until he or she has been accorded a hearing before the Administrative Review Board.
Review
Accordance with
board.
Such procedures and shall be adopted by the ordinance."
In that way, Caroline, I had to bring you in. What do you think about that?
Sir, you have anything else to add?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to finish and then we'll proceed,
Okay,
Caroline?
okay.
Just to point out that the handbook actually reflects the same thing as the article does. If you look at the handbook, page 35, it says before dismissal is recommended, there must be a hearing provided to the department head. The other thing I want to point out is when you're making the decision to pick who you're going to appoint to your review board, we want to make sure that we avoid any kind of conflict of interest, meaning anybody that's been involved, anybody that's been shown to be a comparator, anybody that we're saying is being treated differently than Olga. So just take into account that if there's a conflict of interest, obviously there seems to be an issue there as well.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
No, I do not.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Okay.
I'd like to make a comment.
Go ahead, Vice
Very
Mayor.
simple. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, administrative, their own will.
What, we
What
don't
do you-
understand.
You know
What
what
do you
I'm-
say, excuse me?
Let Lily answer. that.
Administrative personnel is at will. In other words, you got the authority to make a decision.
Lily, what's your
terminate?
response?
While you think, Lily, I have to say this.
You want a little break, Lily?
Uh,
You want a break, Lily?
No, what I have to say here, Mayor, is just it's nice to be sitting here right now. You know why? Because I told you, Mayor, do not second that motion, because believe it or not, probably, and I'm gonna say this for you, everybody, sometimes I have a lack of vocabulary on English because my emotions get me to that. But one thing I am clear, like I didn't understood before, is I knew it. Olga had the right to, before you get the decision to fire her the way you did it, I knew it. I wrote about that on the handbook. And I have to say this, because all this letter from Weiser, at least the first letter says, Town Charter Employee Handbook in connection with the termination of Human Resource Director. It doesn't say the day. The handbook, the letter just says March 30, but it doesn't address the day when she was terminated. And I keep reading and says, Mrs. Quin is entitled, listen to this, is entitled to a hearing. I say it's wrong, because she was entitled before they take that decision. And on the next line says, the first step is to have the council to appoint, and one member of the board, the town attorney, is seeking direction. The first step is to have the council. In reality, we're supposed to be scheduled to do that, but prior to take the decision to make her go the way we did it. Because even if I vote no, I am part of this council and we did it. But I'm gonna say another note. This handbook do not specify any criteria or requirement for the board members. Lily, and I have to say this today on this meeting. After the meeting, I get disappointed. And I told you, I feel disappointed with the work of our legal advisor. In this case, you, Lindsay, and Caroline. But I have to say, if I make you feel bad that day, I'm really sorry. Honestly, I'm really sorry. But Lindsay replied to me, the handbook was useless because it doesn't have the ability, the way we are between the charter and the handbook, we don't have the ability to apply what the handbook says about it. So that makes me more confused. But I'm just saying this because what is done, but that we are here just to try to fix this little mess. And point to the board member, employee X, and not finished yet. Just be patient, Mayor, with me. Trust me, God is just giving us the opportunity to deal with this, and I don't know how, but at the end, I believe, Mayor, we're gonna do the right thing. Somebody has conflict with the board created for fairness. Appoint the board members. Okay, the council was looped for this happening. Looped. Okay, I have nothing for now. I don't know if the council.
Any other council members have questions?
Yes, I have questions. This is a result of making impulsive decisions because the handbook and the charter is clear. So now what's going to happen is that we're going to have consequences, the council, the body, for decisions that the majority made. So my question to you, Mayor, did you seek legal counsel prior to making this decision?
We have the legal counsel right there. I'm waiting for the answer.
No, I asked, did prior to you firing,
To answer you, I'm waiting for the legal counsel right there.
did he seek legal counsel before termination?
Not specifically that evening, no. That was not discussed. Having said that, I was at the meeting, I was present, as were my partners, Caroline and Lindsay Ryder. A decision was made. In our opinion, the charter needs to be read in its totality. The charter provides for a council form of government, whereby the council has the power under this form of government to hire and terminate all employees. That needs to be considered equally with the administrative review process. If I could finish, please. So we read the charter in its entirety, and we read it in conjunction with the handbook. Having said that, subsequent to Ms. Quin's termination, the mayor did send a very lengthy letter confirming and basically ratifying her termination and setting forth the reasons, the performance issues for that termination. Now it goes to the Administrative Review Board, and ultimately, depending on the outcome of the recommendation of that board, it will come back to the council for a different decision if it's so the way it plays out. So it's our opinion that the process in the council in the charter has been followed. If you read the charter in its totality in conjunction with your handbook, given the council form of government of this particular town, which is very unique. So I don't.
Right now, at the moment, I want, if you have anybody that you want to appoint, Vice Mayor?
Yes, I do want to make a motion on this item, Mayor. And my motion is to appoint Mr. Michael Pizzi to the board.
I'll second the motion.
Mayor,
Roll call, Vic.
are you sure we can do this?
Roll call.
Yes?
But there is a big conflict
Roll
of
call.
interest. Do you want me to say it on the meeting? What is the conflict?
Up to the attorney.
Mayor, we have a roll call.
You guys are destroying our town, and you guys don't care about.
But Mayor, please,
Roll call.
just
Vic.
consider this.
Roll call, Vic.
Roll call.
Yes. Vice Mayor Pacheco?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pacheco?
Yes.
Council Member Ayala?
No,
Councilwoman Ayala?
No.
Mayor Martel?
Yes.